Today I want to talk about the promises of God. I want you to think about your favorite promise. Do you know promises are important because they're as good as the person who makes them to us? And I think we all love to be promised things, promised a gift, a promotion, a day off, or whatever. Listen to what Peter says, 2 Peter 1:4. For by these he's granted to us his precious and magnificent promises, in order that by them you might become partakers of the divine nature. Do you know what Peter's saying here is that through God's promises we become more like Jesus. I ask you today, what's your favorite promise? People who study these things say that there are thousands. I've heard 20,000. I've heard different numbers of promises in the Bible. But to me, promises are like old friends. There's promises that were really key at certain points in my life, promises that are key now. And I believe we all need promises of God that we can hinge our life on, that God has really spoken to us and we trust him for, and they're fulfilled. I just want to share a couple of my favorite promises with you. When I first became a Christian, really got going with God, I became a Christian when I was 8, but I really got going in college. Matthew 6:33, and I've seen this quoted many times. Seek first his kingdom, his righteousness. All these things will be added to you. Isn't that a great promise? That if you seek God first, everything else that's important, everything will be added to you. And can I tell you, that's true. That God spoke that to me at a key point in my life where I had to make a lot of choices and give up a lot of things. And over the years, God has added everything to me to the point I have the big things that I want and certainly that I need. I believe God's promises that God will give us life promises as well. And I think it's always an interesting thing to ask people what their promises for their life are. Here's one of the promises. Actually, I have a bunch for my life, but one that grabbed me maybe 15 years ago. Proverbs 22:4. The reward of humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and long life. You know, that verse says that if we humble ourselves before God and fear him, that he will give us riches, honor, and long life. What a great promise. So today I just want to remind you of the promises of God. What's your favorite promise? Ask God to give you a promise or two for your life right now and maybe for your entire life. And you know, as you keep the part that he tells you to, God will fulfill it and answer the promise. All the promises of God are wonderful. Amen.